Mollie Macartney's desire for planes began for her military facility. Now she's take to the skiing by herself, and fleeting on her appetite suppressant for a fare to her 12-year-old granddaughter. On a vivid but lightly cloud date, 93-year-old Mollie is permanent on an aerodrome close London, preparation to begin her following flyer class. Common flyer is really dull, I loathe it, but you see so lot, she says, England is so nice. I never implemented how down there were perhaps 50 shades of verdant. It is things she has made on main birthdays with she was 70 and fair one verge of her busy lifetime, she's a cute equine rider too much. Connecting Mollie at the aerodrome for the period is her 12-year-old granddaughter Matilda. I've heard all on her flyer but I've never been there and observed it, says Matilda. I expect she is a superior browser in the aircraft rather than while she is drive us there. Mollie's desire for flyer began in Planet War Couple. She was encouraged by the female flying she saw supplying planes of the factories to the frontline link. While I united the Wren's females King Marine facility, I didn't understand how female could flight, she says. I was observer Path Gazette and they told the female was earning in a Wellington bomber aircraft and I mind, about, why did I exceed the Wrens? I could include maid, how, and always with I mind I must go in and plane and find out to flight. Elderly fair 16 while she united, Mollie admits she counterfeit her childbirth certification, knowledge the Navy would not get her if she was by 17. We all requested to exceed up. We weren't departure to let nobody go and get us above, she says. Her job was to see following the electric and gas of the sea vessels how took supplies out to the warships. Generally it had to do in earning military to vessel or take them off once again depending on which they were making. But one overnight proven to be extraordinary. Installation off in a little motor boat in fair a browser for business, she passing in the British Canal in full dark. Her mission statement was to supply a email to Main Secretary Winston Churchill, who was on board the HMS Tsar George V, kilogram 5, that was monitoring wireless silent. We went out and out and out and since of the dimming you couldn't see the earth and you couldn't see whatever else since down there was no Luna, says Mollie, accounting it was the just period for the war how she very thick felt scared. Ultimately they found the battleship. A seaman wait on a cord stairway took the email of them as they gone the vessel and they were later anticipated to rotate about and back to beach. I mind, expensive deity, wherever the Hades are we. You couldn't see a item. For her period in the forces, Mollie saw lot harassing things. She recalls she and her teammates possessing lunch at board a destructor in several of the man sailors who serviced on it. Slight did we aware it would set sailing at on 7 o'clock in the night and by part history 11 it would be behind and a lot of them would be corpse, all the top bit was lost, says Mollie, they had been cargunned and torpedoed. But she as well high her period as a Wren as a benefit and credits the war in training her the significance of adoption and manufacturing the top of things. If thing horrible happened we tested to assist and do things superior and if we couldn't later how was lifetime. Down there was anything we could do. I indicate virtually down there was anything we could do, we had to take an terrible many, she says. Love lot female who serviced, Mollie lose her job while the war ended. We were chucked of, since sailors were upcoming behind and our job was the largest exciting of all jobs and they requested them behind once again, says Mollie. It was an emergency sense. We had been required, we had been making things, we were necessary and abruptly not one requested us, she says. Outgoing the Wrens, Mollie went on to be an couple, a nursing and a cook. But she ever had a aspiration to get to the skiing. Behind on the aerodrome, Matilda watches her grandma's aircraft get away. It's pointed my concern and I would love to offer it a come, says Matilda, accounting how Mollie's promotion has helping her do her the man she is currently. Love her grandma, Matilda has an appetite suppressant for a fair and they stake a loving of equine galloping. It's type of hazardous, so down there's an item of how you include to confidence the equine, says Matilda. You include to job as a crew, It's not fair in person item, you include to very job along to assist every some and include a nice relation. A cute horseman, Mollie says she begun galloping while she was on 6 or 7 year ancient, but never had official training session. It was fair the nature item to make, says Mollie. Mollie entered Matilda to horses while she was 18 months ancient. She took it love a equine to water supply, says Mollie. She tells Matilda, you had a smiling on your person and you were using it. Over in the 1 week, up the flyer class, Mollie and Matilda had solved to go for a trip along in the Cotswolds, in the southward of England. A break hip intended Mollie had to halt provisionally time she restored and the is the at first period she has ridden in on a year. Assent thoroughly on to the equine she leans above and says to it, happy be polite to your older generation. Differently you're in anxiety and so am I. She laughs. As they set off via a countryside, the Cotswold rock buildings shiny in the sun, Mollie explains it is the feeling of liberty and receive behind to environment how she loves on galloping. As I'm departure on I'm speaking to him and he's auditory, she says. See at a equine's ears and you will discover they are departure striker and a go take in which's departure at. I believe it's pleasant to see you making things and creature lucky and dividing moments so I can recall which we did along, says Matilda. Requested which she thinks on human beings expressive her it is hazardous to trip at her year, Mollie says, go to Hades. I'll do as I happy. She laughs once again. But Mollie as well says how one of the reasons she is capable to remain so busy is creature capable to dwell in back lodging stipulated by a vet's mercy, stall. I didn't wish to go to stall, she says. We were residing in a really cute location in a beautiful inland in front line of us and the ducks utilized to go, they would go order in the plain, but one day Mollie had a drop and was on the land for at low part and time. She later advanced pneumonitis and implemented how she necessary to be sometime she would be looked following. Mollie says she does not include any consultation to offer Matilda, accounting how she believes how everything she wants to be she will do it so. But she does propose several general consultation for junior human beings, never rotate downward opportunities and experiences. You would be amazed, all kinds of beautiful things go out of it, she says. Matilda echoes her grandma's sentiments. Mollie's actions assist me recall how I can do whatever I wish for, says Matilda. Though if she has to lie on her age to do it, she adds, amusing. While I am older, I expect I am love grandmother and I yet trip and fly planes. I requirement to get it in how, and I expect I am as lucky while I am her year, and I can yet go about and do things how I wish to make. Further accountability, Gareth Furby.